what you need to know before moving to Chicago. My name is Gil Juarez and I'm a realtor here in Chicago. I was born and raised in Chicago and I'm here to tell you what you need to know before moving here. Chicago is a beautiful place to live, but I want to tell you a little bit about some of the negatives that you might experience while you live here, just so you're not experiencing a culture shock. So let's get into it. Up first on the list is that Chicago gets cold as hell. During winter, sometimes we'll get a high of -5 degrees with the wind chill factor feeling like -60. You will never get used to it. You'll only learn how to better prepare for it as time goes on. So what I would tell you to do is invest in a really good coat, hats, gloves, long johns, long underwear. People call it different things, but make sure you have some base layers because those wind chills will cut right through whatever you're wearing. The second thing that we have on the list is that it gets really sticky and humid during the summer times. Chicago is snuggled up really nicely against Lake Michigan, so when the summertime comes around, you get a lot of that humidity from the lake, especially after it rains. You're gonna step outside and it's gonna feel like people are breathing down your back. It's not gonna feel pretty, it's not gonna feel nice. So if you've ever been in a steam room or maybe a college party in a basement or something like that, it's gonna feel exactly like that. So just know that, be prepared for that. All right, number 3, the next one that we have on the list is seasonal allergies. Some people get them, some people don't. Just make sure you have something to help you combat those symptoms because I know a lot of people, they get seasonal allergies pretty bad around the summertime or when the weather is changing. And it can get so bad that they decide just to not go out or go anywhere. So if you have allergy problems, just be ready. Number 4, the fourth one we have on the list is crime. So when you hear Chicago, a lot of times crime can be brought up with it. And I'm not really gonna get too deep into it. I'm just gonna spit the facts. The FBI recently came out with a report. As far as violent crimes are concerned, Chicago is ranked 29th in the United States. So that, I'll say my piece about that. You can always do your more research on specific crimes that you're worried about, but as far as violent crimes are concerned, Chicago ranks 29th. All right, number 5 on our list is the dangers of basement flooding. This is an unfortunate reality for a lot of Chicagoans. I remember a couple decades back, there was a really bad, severe thunderstorm and literally everybody that I know got flooded. And it was torrential rains and some people had water in the basement that came up as high as 3 feet. Personal documents were ruined, photos were lost. So it was a really bad time. But I think that ever since that year, I noticed that a lot of my friends and family, my neighbors were being more proactive with taking the steps to do waterproofing on the outside, installing sump pumps and other ways to mitigate the water intrusion that came from the outside sewers. So the main reason for this is Chicago's sewer system is undersized. So when we have heavy rains, the water that goes into the sewer system will get backed up really quickly and it'll start to flow into your private pipes and up into your basement. Number 6 on the list is house centipedes. So everyone has them, I think, and they're actually supposed to be really good for your home. So they come up through the sewer drain or they come up through water pipes. And yeah, apparently they're supposed to be good for your home because they get rid of other pesky bugs that may be lurking around the house. But us Chicagoans, we're not trying to hear all of that. These things are fuzzy looking, they have hundreds of legs, and they're fast as all hell. So when we see them, it's on sight. Number 7, the next one we have on our list is property taxes. When you live in a great city like Chicago, you're gonna be paying a nice price for property taxes. There was a recent reassessment in Chicago in 2022 that actually increased property taxes by about 8% across the board, bringing the median property tax to about $5,300 a year. This can be attributed to rising home values and an increase in budgets in governmental services and schools. That's just the reality of living in Chicago, but if you feel like your taxes increase too much, there are services out there. There are real estate attorneys who can help you possibly dispute these taxes and get them lowered. Also, being sure to stay on top of filing your homeowner's exemption each year would help a lot too. The homeowner's exemption helps keep your taxes from increasing too much over time. All right, this next one, I'm gonna call it 8.5 because these two things kind of go hand in hand, and that is traffic and construction in the city. I swear, it always feels like Chicago is always under construction, especially the main highways. I can't really remember the last time that I didn't see a highway under construction. There's a running joke in Chicago that it's either summer or construction season. I see it everywhere. On every highway there is construction constantly happening, but there has been progress. After about a decade of work and over $800 million spent, the city of Chicago finally finished the construction project on the Jane Byrne interchange. So hopefully traffic downtown will ease up. And last but not least, we have number 9, and that is that the food here is dangerously good. Seriously, there's food everywhere, both healthy and unhealthy, so it's gonna be really hard to not spend money on food and to maintain a good diet. So when you decide to move here, definitely reach out to me and I'll hand you a list of places to check out so that you can have the true Chicago experience. And then lastly, number 10 on the list is Chicago parking. When you're in a neighborhood specifically, sometimes you can pass a sign that says permit parking only or parking from like 3 to 7 and prohibited. It's so weird. And the city will rob you every time. You'll go inside somebody's house or you go inside of a business and you'll come out and there's gonna be this nice orange and white slab of paper on the front of your windshield, and it's not gonna be a good time. It's not gonna be a good feeling. For us real estate agents, it's typically a cost of doing business, but for you, it doesn't have to be. So make sure that you're looking out for those signs. Make sure that you're taking pictures of those signs too, so just in case you get a ticket, you can go ahead and dispute it. Now listen, I know I gave you a handful of reasons for why people might not want to move to Chicago, but if you click here, you can look at some reasons why people would love to move to Chicago and why I personally love this city. So these are my top 10 reasons, but I would like to hear any of your reasons why you dislike the city. Go ahead and leave it in the comments. I'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed, and be sure to hit the bell notification so that you can stay up to date on the current market in Chicago at all times. My name is Gil Juarez and I'm a realtor in Chicago, Illinois. And if you need to find a place to live tomorrow or further down the line, feel free to send me a text message, email, give me a call. I'd love to help you find a home that you love.